Hey guys, welcome to the Homestead. So today we're going to talk about this fertilizer issue that's going around. I've been watching the news and it dawned on me, this is something that homesteaders do not suffer from, a handicap that we don't suffer from normally. And it just goes to show how far away we've gotten from what is natural into what is the unnatural and why humanity could really suffer for it. So let me just go ahead and show you the article and we'll get started there. Shortage of nitrogen fertilizer in the United States may cause spike in food prices. I scroll down, it says a global shortage of nitrogen fertilizer is driving prices to record levels, prompting North America's farmers to delay purchases and raising the risk of a spring scramble to apply the crop nutrient before planting season. According to Ag Week, higher grain prices are only part of the cause. It's actually a rare combination of supply chain issues that are tightening supplies. Josh Linville, director of fertilizer for StoneX Financial Incorporated, based in Kansas City, Missouri, said fertilizer prices were higher in 2008, but the 2021 issue is an unprecedented global shortage. This is vastly different, he said, because it doesn't matter what you're willing to pay, you can't get the product. We can look back to February this past year when a bout of exceptionally cold weather hit parts of Texas, according to the Weather Network. Then in August, Hurricane Ida made landfall in Louisiana as a Category 4 storm, interrupting fertilizer processing plants. The hurricane, all by itself, contributed to a global shortage of nitrogen fertilizer, worsened by a surging demand for natural gas in Europe, a key production component. We can add the disruptions to the supply chain caused by the coronavirus pandemic and related vaccination mandates. Vaccine mandates have contributed to a rail car shortage, with some workers refusing to comply. Good on them. Some trucking companies are also facing a driver shortage, while others are redistributing their fleets to meet the demand for flatbeds. According to Argus Media, global nitrogen fertilizer sales were $53 billion in 2020. So far in 2021, prices have been 80% higher than that. Good grief. See, this whole thing about, there's only a 6.2% inflation. Bunch of garbage. Okay, all this, according to some experts, is behind the rising cost of fertilizer, and it could translate into higher food prices. Right now, we have almost a perfect storm of high energy prices. China cutting its production because of higher energy prices as well. Agricultural economist John Begin of the University of Nebraska tells AgWeb. For now, in the U.S., nitrogen fertilizer supplies are adequate for applications before winter, said Darren Kopic, CEO of the U.S.-based Agricultural Retailers Association, and applying fertilizer now will help to reduce the spring workload for farmers. However, because of the price of fertilizer has jumped so high, some farmers are delaying purchases, risking a scramble for supplies during their busiest times of the year. However, delaying fertilizer purchases again until spring runs the risk of further supply chain congestion as farmers rush to apply fertilizer and plant seed during a tight window. See, that's right. The prices are high. If you're the farmer, you're like, maybe I ought to wait till spring and hopefully the prices will come down. That's a gamble. I mean, you're totally gambling at that point because you don't know if they're going to go up or down or not. If they go up, you're in big trouble. If they go down, you're okay. But then you have the problem of getting some because everyone's buying. It's a total complete mess. The good news is us homesteaders don't have this problem because we have our own homestead where we have livestock. We have the ability to source materials that are easily, some of these are waste materials that are in the areas if you live in rural America that you can easily acquire, sometimes very cheap, sometimes even free, and you can put these on your garden so you can grow food. Put these, on different places where you can have things that will grow. It will encourage good soil growth, good soil microbiology. Because the reality is right now, the American farmland, as good as it once may have been, is basically depleted of all nutrients because they have constantly relied on chemical fertilizers to produce their crops. There's no nutrients there. There's no microbiology in the soil anymore. It's dead. It's absolutely dead, most of it. And it's like a drug addict who's addicted to the drugs. You can't just, take the drugs away because nothing is going to grow now. If they had been constantly putting forth good agricultural practices and putting forth good natural fertilizers, encouraging good biology growth inside the soil, well, that'd be different. But they're not. They haven't done that for decades. And so we're in a big big pot of trouble. So let me show you a list of things that are natural fertilizers that we use and that you may use as well. If one of these things, if something that you use is not on this list, with one of these things, then you need to put a comment below, let us know what you use, and maybe that'll give an idea of someone, that they can use, an item that someone else can use, that they can use to help, have good soil build up, have good microbiology in the soil. That's very important. So here's my list. Number one, it's always livestock, because livestock poop. And if you can collect that poop within certain parameters of wherever you are keeping your livestock, especially for the winter, you can collect that manure and then you can put that on your gardens or on places where you want things to grow. And it's good stuff. This is real good microbiology. There's healthy bacteria and healthy things growing in there that will allow your soil to be fertile. Chickens produce a manure. It's very, very hot. You can't apply it directly to your gardens. However, if you can let it sit or mix it with other types of fertilizer, other types of natural options, you can let that break down for a year. You can collect this for an entire year, let it break down, and then apply it for the following year, and it makes fantastic fertilizer and manures for your garden. Hay is a big one. If you use hay, you can get large bales of hay. Hay is basically grass. It's nitrogen. It's potential nitrogen fixer to the soil. And you can add that hay to your soil and add that to your gardens and allow that to break down, and it will produce an amazing soil. Just keep in mind that the seed in that hay will sprout, and so it's a good idea to have something to lay over the top of it, whether it's a heavy mixture of wood chips, or you can use ground cloth. Ground cloth works fantastic and allows that hay to break down, and the worms and the microbiology in your soil will go nuts over it. Straw is another big thing. Straw is available here. It's available in much of the country. If you can get straw, it's amazing at helping and encouraging the growth of mycelium for different mushrooms, and myceliums help feed the certain root nodules of plants, and which really helps to grow a fantastic garden. I've done videos before that one of the things you have when you have a good garden is you can see mushrooms growing in your garden, because that shows when mushrooms only grow in places where the soil is alive. Okay, so straw is great. Is a great way to encourage that sort of growth. Chopped leaves, like right now. Okay, fall has happened, and there's all kinds of leaves on the ground. You can go collect those leaves. You can mulch them with a lawnmower, collect them all, and then pour them on your garden. It's an amazing carbon nutrient for your garden. So you have hay as the nitrogen, you have like leaves or wood chips as your carbon, and those together make a fantastic soil when they break down. Wood shavings is another place. Around here we have tons of sawmills. And I'm not talking so much about sawdust, but if you can find a place around sawmills, a lot of times they will have places where they have wood chips, or like there's a handle factory nearby us where you can go get it and get wood chips, and those wood chips will break down along with that hay and straw and produce an amazing soil. So wood shavings, if you can get a hold of wood shavings, not so much sawdust, but wood shavings or wood chips, that's an excellent amendment to your garden. Rice hulls. Around here, a lot of people don't know that the Ozarks, Missouri and Arkansas, produce a lot of rice, especially in the Mississippi River Valley. And these rice hulls are a waste product that usually they go and dump somewhere. And there is a place nearby where they take rice hulls and they just dump them. And you can go and get them by the truckload. You have to load them yourself, and you can put that on your garden, and it produces an amazing compost, an amazing soil amendment for your garden. Rice hulls, if you can get those, check into that. See if there's any in your area, or if you live in a place like in the Mississippi River Valley, where in the Ozarks or in the Boot Heel of Missouri, they produce a lot of rice. You can get the rice hulls almost free or cheap, or they'll give them to you. And my final manure is rabbit manure. If you can get a hold of rabbit manure is the best. The University of Arkansas is not too far from here, and they have a big science program there, and their science program uses rabbits as the animals that they use for their students to dissect a lot. And they have this barn out there with like thousands and thousands of rabbits. And I walked into the barn one time, and I just my eyes wanted to bleed because all the urine, whatever, that ammonia, whatever, which is, it's like a gas chamber. Anyway, they have lots of manure for those rabbits. You can buy it by the truckload, and you can put that in your garden. It's not hot at all. You can put it directly on your garden. Rabbit manure is by far the best manure you can possibly put in your garden. And if you can get some of that fertilizer it makes an amazing garden. Even a first year, never before garden, you can almost grow anything. You won't have any issues with the soil. The soil just loves rabbit manure. So anyway, those are your manures. Those are your fertilizers that I recommend if you're a homesteader to go out and get. Right now, there's going to be a huge issue with fertilizer in the breadbasket of America. I don't know if it's going to amount to anything. Maybe it'll all work out. Maybe by the end of this fall and winter and the beginning of spring, there'll be plenty of fertilizer. They'll catch up, and all the people who haven't been working, like that was a lot of the rail car workers, and some of these other people, they're refusing to get the jab, and they're not being allowed to work. Well, they can't ship the product if they're not allowed to work. And so, and not to mention, all this is made with a product called natural gas, which you're probably familiar with. A lot of people heat your homes with natural gas, but fertilizer, nitrogen fertilizer, is produced mostly, there's other methods too, but mostly with natural gas. And that natural gas is in short supply, and the prices of all of energy prices are going through the roof right now. So just remains to be seen, but this is a problem that homesteaders do not have, and it goes back to what I've often said. When you push preparedness to its logical conclusion, you end up on a homestead. All right, guys. Now, again, leave a comment if you have something that was not on that list that you utilize to put into your garden to promote good soil growth and good soil composition. Put that in the comments below. We want to hear about it because it may be helping someone else. And make sure if you did like the video, hit that like button before you go. That really means a lot to me, and it shows YouTube that people actually watch and enjoy the channel. All right, head on over to patreon.com. I got some stuff over there. We got a brand new singer, not a brand new singer. It's new to me. It's actually a 4th generation in my family Singer sewing machine, off-grid, total treadle machine, and it looks fantastic. It works fantastic, and I got some ins and outs on that if you want to check that over at patreon.com. And I got some other stuff coming out over at patreon.com coming up soon as well. And our t-shirts, be sure to hit those. Teespring.com down. Links in the description below. Right below the video, you can see the links for those. All right, guys. See you next time in the homestead. Bye. Hey, guys. I'm happy to introduce an American Homestead sponsor, Zervita Zeal. Now, first off, I only accept sponsors from products that I use and believe in. My family uses Zeal mainly because we want to ensure a healthy immune system. You see, it's made up of only whole food concentrates and includes no artificial colors, flavors, or preservatives. The included sweetener is all natural from fruit and the stevia leaf. It's gluten-free, it's vegan, and it's kosher. In 2018, my youngest son was involved in a bike accident that resulted in the surgical removal of his spleen, and that's an important part of his immune system. And because we live on a farm, you can guess that having a healthy immune system for our family is very important. Some of the included ingredients are beetroot, chicory root, turmeric, moringa, blueberries, cranberry, goji berry, milk thistle, ginseng, alfalfa, broccoli, and so much more. It's these natural ingredients that can easily be made into a powerful and tasty drink that my family can make and feel good about. So sign up and give it a try today. Every purchase you make goes to help the homestead so that we can continue to make great homesteading videos for you. Link is in the description below. Go ahead, give it a try. Hey guys, did you know you can become a patron of an American Homestead? They get access to private videos, and we send them gifts from the homestead that we make here on the homestead. And we also enter our patrons into special giveaways that are only available to them. And before you go, please check out these other great videos. Go ahead, click. I'll wait.